in my mind that it was supposed to be a beautiful day today. That's why I plan to go out exploring. Now that we're here though, and it's super cloudy, I'm realizing that maybe the forecast was just for no rain. Oh well, maybe it'll clear up. Brooklyn. Just taking the subway over to the other side of the Brooklyn Bridge. The plan today is to go explore the area known as Dumbo and then walk back across the bridge toward Manhattan. Should be nice. First impression, it's a pretty awesome neighborhood vibe over here in this part of Brooklyn. I like it. Right now I'm trying to blindly feel my way over to the area under the Brooklyn Bridge. I know the general direction, and I'm just gonna walk over there until I hit something, see what happens. This looks promising. I don't really have any idea of what I'm gonna find over here. I mean, I'm not going to see something specifically, except some good views. I'm fairly confident there will be some incredible views. I mean, look at this guy. I love this bridge. This is great. There's all sorts of stuff going on down here. The bridge, of course. We've got the Empire State Building peeking out there somewhere. It's caught the light on the top, so it's gleaming. And look at this skyline. There's also a nice path over here. Walks up through the trees. A bunch of playgrounds in there too. It's nice. I'm walking the wrong way from the direction that I actually want to go right now, so I don't want to go too much farther over here, but let's go over here and look at a couple more things. Directly behind me, we got Governor's Island right there, tying everything together, huh? And then out in the distance, our friend. Here's the lower part of Manhattan. You see the Staten Island Ferry, they're ready to depart again. It's a nice view. And then turn a little bit more and you got lower Manhattan. There's the bridge. Hey, it's nice. I find myself standing right next to the water again, which I guess shouldn't surprise me that it's going to be a common theme in this whole series. Since I live next to water, it still makes me nervous with the camera. Again, this is an amazing bridge. I'm not sure how much I'm going to end up telling you about it. I don't want this to turn into a history class, but I sure do enjoy talking history. Let's walk over and see more of Dumbo. So I just had to look it up, and I realized that I'm not actually in Dumbo yet. I guess I kind of am, but Dumbo is an acronym for Down Under the Manhattan Bridge Overpass. So that doesn't include the Brooklyn Bridge. The Manhattan Bridge is the one just past it. If you haven't learned this trick yet, the first three bridges here are the Brooklyn, the Manhattan, and then the Williamsburg. And you can remember the order of them with BMW. Huh? You already knew that, didn't you? These towers are actually an amazing part of this whole bridge too. They were the tallest human-built structures in the world besides the pyramids when they were built. And they're beautiful. They're putting up a really big stage. I have no idea what for. This little episode may have a little more history in it than the other ones have. Sorry. This is the Emily Roebling Plaza. So in the history of this whole thing, the original designer of the Brooklyn Bridge was John Roebling. John Roebling died in an accident before the bridge even started, so it was left to his son, Washington Roebling, to take over the bridge project. And Washington Roebling got sick during the construction. He got the bends, what they called caisson's disease. So when Washington Roebling got sick, his wife kind of took over. Washington Roebling was bedridden, and his wife would run the day-to-day stuff at the construction site and come back and report to Washington. So the bridge is kind of a big step in women's rights. It was a woman who really got this thing pushed through. It's an amazing bridge. And this is also a selfie mecca. So many people taking selfies here. Even me. Instagram heaven, baby. And then again, Brooklyn Bridge is over there. If we turn this way a little bit, we got the Manhattan Bridge. It's a carousel. Kind of getting further and further away from the Brooklyn Bridge, which is what I intend to walk over later, but still, it's a great view back there. I'm in this little park. Great views of the city, great views of the Brooklyn Bridge. That's like right under the Manhattan Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge was such a success when they built it that they needed to build another bridge right after it. So they got started on the Manhattan Bridge pretty fast after the Brooklyn Bridge opened. What do dates matter though? It gets kind of loud under the Manhattan Bridge because some of the subways go over the bridge. It's a little noisy. Now I'm going to walk back toward the Brooklyn Bridge and see if I can find the way to get across it on the Promenade. First I'll venture up to the top of the hill here with all the people lined up taking pictures. Get some of my own. I'm trying to stay out of everybody else's pictures while I'm getting to where I can take my own pictures. Of course I'm taking them right now. I got enough. I'll let them have the hill. As I turned to walk up this street, everyone was facing me taking pictures, but I think I realized why. Many tour groups. Now I'm just walking through all their pictures. Sorry. It is nice though, look at that. It's a neat little neighborhood, nice little view. I'm having to walk up and around a big block to come back on the Brooklyn Bridge Promenade approach so that I can actually get on the bridge and walk across. Nice park over here. Something caught my eye in the park, so I'm coming in to investigate. Hey, bathrooms. But they're locked. Oh well. Brooklyn World War II Memorial, very nice. And lots of grass. It's actually fake, but you know, still works the same. Back to looking for the bridge. I'm outside the courthouse here. I just passed by a bunch of people taking selfies of themselves with the little American flags. They must have just gotten their citizenship, and that's awesome. It's a big deal. Congratulations. If you pass those tests, you probably know more about our country than a lot of us that didn't have to take the test do. Turn the corner and just like that, we are on the Promenade. It's actually like a 1.5 mile walk across the bridge. It's a big bridge. That's not all the bridge length. It's a pretty good distance leading up to the actual bridge itself on both sides. Seems like more on the Brooklyn side. Should be some good views though. Looking up ahead here, there are a lot of people on the bridge. I think I expected that though. It's like no one behind me. Everyone's on the Manhattan side. I realize now I was thinking about this from my perspective and not your perspective. So I'm looking at the great view and you're looking back at Brooklyn. But I'll stop and get shots for you. Hey, there's a pirate ship at that apartment building. That's pretty cool. I started talking about the towers already. Like I said, when they were built, they were the tallest man-made structures in the world beside the pyramids, and definitely the tallest things in Manhattan. Before that, the tallest thing had been the spire of the Trinity Church, and this towered above that. When the bridge finally opened and people walked out across this promenade that we're still walking on now, this was the highest they'd ever been in their lives. I mean, it blew people's minds. It's still pretty cool. Like I said in an earlier video that it was steel that made this possible. That steel is still here. It's the same steel. This bridge happened pretty early in the steel era, but that's what made it possible. They wouldn't have been able to span a river this wide without steel. And in fact, most people believe that they couldn't do it. John Roebling believed they could though. And so he did. Guy was playing music back there. I don't want to get dinged for copyright violations. When they built this, there weren't even cars yet. It was built for streetcars, trolleys, and horse-drawn carriages. But the steel was so strong that it ended up being so overconstructed that It works great for our traffic today too. Cars, trucks, no problem. It's a great bridge. I just passed by a second vendor who was also playing music, and it was the same song. I'm like stuck in someone else's soundtrack right now. Out in the middle of the bridge here now, we can see some stuff. Again, we got the southern tip of Manhattan down there. You can see Statue of Liberty out there somewhere, and then Governor's Island's right over there. It's nice. Still cloudy, but it ended up being an okay day. Here's a third guy playing the same music. 3 times doesn't seem like a coincidence anymore. They must all be connected. And that's the 4th guy with the same music. They're all connected somehow. I'm onto their little trick. So when people walked out over this, they were higher than they'd ever been in their lives. And it had to be high because it had to be above all the tall ships. This being one of the busiest ports in the country, they couldn't block off sea traffic. That's why they had to make it so big. And they pulled it off. I feel like my history lesson has been kind of mishmashy. Cool bridge though. I didn't even get into the amazingness of how they built it. With the caissons, the Irish labor. You should look it up. It's pretty incredible. All right, we're landing on the Manhattan side now. Nice views. So many people taking pictures. So many people. It did not really clear up today. Still very cloudy. That's all right, I guess. At least it's coolish. So on the other side of Brooklyn Bridge, you end up by City Hall. So I'm gonna poke around here for a minute before I head back uptown. This building is the Tweed Courthouse. The Tweed Courthouse named after the infamous man who built it, William Tweed, Boss Tweed. In the mid-1800s, Tweed used this construction to steal millions of dollars from the city of New York. It's a nice building, but it ended up costing the city a whole lot more than it's worth. Popped out, and here's the Woolworth Building right there, which was the tallest building in the world for a while, the Woolworth Company. It's hard for me to get a good shot of City Hall because there's a lot going on and it's kind of closed off, but it's right back here somewhere, in front of the courthouse or behind the courthouse, or it's hard to tell which is which, but it's here. Protests going on over there. This is the bottom of the Woolworth Building. Beautiful architecture. I don't know enough about architecture to tell you what it is, but kind of Gothic. They called it the Cathedral of Commerce, I think, unless that was the Singer Building. I think it was this building. I'm not sure what's going on here, but it's art. The Woolworth is just a gorgeous building. So much detail. It's beautiful. The protesters keep chanting "No more 24." I guess they don't like the number 24 and they want it removed. Can't please everybody. Personally, I think 24 is a very decent number. Oh well. There's lots of art that's beyond me. It's interesting, I guess. Well, this has been fun. Time to head home, though. I saw the subway earlier. Now I gotta remember where I was. I think it's back this way. Subway back up to the east side. By the way, bonus points if you got the Jefferson's reference in my channel title there. This has been a good day. That was a nice little walk. A beautiful city. Head home, grab some lunch, get the kids. See you next time.